Good day, investors. In this video, we will take a closer look at MercadoLibre, ticker symbol MELI. Over the last 2 decades, this company has quietly built one of the most powerful digital ecosystems in the world, dominating e-commerce, digital payments, logistics, and fintech across Latin America. During that time, the company's revenues and transaction volumes have grown tremendously, turning MercadoLibre into one of the largest digital platforms outside the United States and China. Yet despite this extraordinary growth, the stock is currently trading close to its 52-week lows, which raises an important question. So the big question investors are asking right now is simple. Is MercadoLibre one of the best long-term growth stocks in the world, or is the market seeing risks that investors should not ignore? In this video, we're going to break down the business, the latest financial results, the long-term growth opportunity, and whether MercadoLibre stock could still be a strong investment today. But before we get into it, remember to leave a like for the YouTube algorithm and subscribe to the channel for more upcoming videos. Thank you very much. MercadoLibre is often described as the Amazon of Latin America, but in reality, the business has evolved far beyond just an e-commerce platform. Today, MercadoLibre operates a fully integrated digital ecosystem that connects online shopping, digital payments, logistics, and financial services across the region. The company operates primarily in Brazil, Mexico, and Argentina, which together represent the largest share of its revenue and user base. At the center of the business is the MercadoLibre marketplace, where millions of consumers buy and sell products online. This platform connects buyers and sellers across Latin America and continues to grow rapidly as internet penetration and online shopping adoption increase throughout the region. Now, when we look at the company's recent financials, we can see that the platform continues to grow at an impressive pace. In the most recent quarter, MercadoLibre generated about $19.9 billion in gross merchandise volume, while selling more than 751 million items on its marketplace. At the same time, the company's fintech ecosystem continues to expand rapidly, with total payment volume reaching around $83.7 billion, and the credit portfolio growing to about $12.5 billion, representing roughly 90% growth year over year. Looking at the financial results, revenue reached about $8.8 billion, growing roughly 45% compared to the previous year. Operating income came in at around $889 million, while net income reached about $559 million, with a 6.4% profit margin. And importantly, the business is also generating strong cash flow, with adjusted free cash flow of around $763 million during the quarter. Overall, these numbers highlight how rapidly MercadoLibre's ecosystem continues to expand across both e-commerce and fintech services. But beyond the strong financial growth, another key factor behind MercadoLibre's success is the continuous improvement of its logistics network. As we can see on this slide, the number of same-day and next-day shipments continues to grow rapidly, reaching around 191 million shipments in the latest quarter, which represents roughly 29% growth year over year. And faster delivery speeds help increase customer satisfaction and encourage more frequent purchases on the platform. And MercadoLibre is also selling more items per customer. As we can see here, the number of items sold per unique active buyer increased about 15% year over year, reaching roughly 9 items per buyer in the latest quarter. This suggests that existing users are becoming more engaged with the platform and are making purchases more frequently. Higher engagement like this is an important signal because it shows that the ecosystem continues to strengthen as more buyers and sellers join the platform, supporting the company's long-term growth. And the company is also growing rapidly in the fintech segment. As we can see here, the number of monthly active users on Mercado Pago reached nearly 78 million, representing about 27% growth year over year. This shows that more people across Latin America are using MercadoLibre's platform not only for shopping, but also for digital payments, financial services, and credit products, further expanding the company's ecosystem. And the growth in MercadoLibre's fintech ecosystem goes even further. As we can see here, the company's assets under management continue to grow rapidly, reaching about $18.8 billion, which represents roughly 78% growth year over year. At the same time, the company's credit portfolio expanded to around $12.5 billion, showing very strong growth as more users begin using MercadoLibre's financial services. This credit business includes consumer loans, credit cards, merchant financing, and asset-backed lending, allowing the company to offer a wide range of financial products to both buyers and sellers on the platform, further supporting the company's long-term revenue growth potential. And another important growth driver for the company is its fintech ecosystem, particularly the payment acquiring business, which allows merchants to accept payments both online and in physical stores. As we can see here, the company's total acquiring payment volume reached about $55.7 billion in the latest quarter, representing roughly 33% growth year over year. A large portion of this growth is coming from in-store payments, as more merchants across Latin America begin using Mercado Pago as their payment processor. In fact, payment volume in markets like Mexico and Argentina is growing particularly fast, showing strong adoption of the platform and further strengthening the company's market position. And when we look more closely at the company's payment acquiring growth across different regions, we can see that adoption remains strong throughout Latin America. Payment volumes continue to expand across Argentina, Brazil, and Mexico, showing solid growth across the company's largest markets. At the same time, more sellers on the platform are also using MercadoLibre's credit products, with the percentage of sellers using credit steadily increasing. This is important because it allows MercadoLibre to generate additional revenue streams while strengthening relationships with merchants on the platform. And when looking at revenue growth in MercadoLibre's commerce business, we can see that the e-commerce segment continues to expand at a strong pace. In the latest quarter, commerce net revenues reached nearly $5 billion, growing significantly compared to the previous year. Most of this revenue comes from commerce services, which include marketplace fees, advertising, logistics services, and loyalty subscriptions. While the company's take rate declined slightly due to lower shipping revenue, strong growth in advertising and subscription services is helping offset some of that pressure. And on the fintech side, we can see that revenue growth remains very strong. In the latest quarter, fintech net revenues reached about $3.8 billion, continuing the company's rapid expansion in digital financial services. A large portion of this growth is coming from financial services income and credit revenues, as more users begin using MercadoLibre's lending products. This includes both consumer loans and merchant financing, which are becoming an increasingly important driver of revenue growth for the company's fintech ecosystem. And when we look at profitability, we can see that MercadoLibre continues to generate strong operating income while still investing heavily in growth. In the latest quarter, income from operations reached about $889 million, representing an operating margin of roughly 10%. At the same time, net income came in at around $559 million, giving the company a net profit margin of about 6.4%. While margins have fluctuated slightly, this largely reflects the company's strategy of continuing to invest in logistics, fintech services, and platform expansion to support long-term growth. And when looking at the company's cash position, we can see that MercadoLibre maintains a strong balance sheet. In the latest quarter, available cash, investments, and digital assets increased to about $6.7 billion, giving the company significant financial flexibility. At the same time, leverage remains relatively moderate, with net debt to adjusted EBITDA at around 1.16 times, which is still a manageable level for a company growing this quickly. So with all that in mind, the next question investors should ask is whether MercadoLibre stock is attractive at the current valuation. When we look at analyst expectations from stock analysis, the outlook for the company remains quite positive. Currently, analysts have a consensus rating of strong buy, with an average price target of around $2,749 per share. That would imply roughly 65% potential upside from the current price, although estimates vary depending on growth assumptions. The lowest analyst price target is around $2,100, while the highest estimate is as high as $3,500 per share, indicating a potential upside of about 110%. Overall, These estimates suggest that many analysts still see significant long-term growth potential for the company, which could indicate a potential buying opportunity for long-term investors. And when we look at the company's current valuation, we can see that MercadoLibre is trading at around $1,670 per share, giving the company a market capitalization of roughly $85 billion. The stock currently trades at a forward price-to-earnings ratio of around 30, which reflects the market's expectation for continued strong growth. Interestingly, the stock is also trading close to its 52-week lows, which could indicate a potential entry point for investors who believe in the company's long-term growth prospects. So overall, when looking at the bigger picture, MercadoLibre remains one of the most impressive growth companies in the global e-commerce space. The company continues to deliver strong revenue growth, while its fintech platform, Mercado Pago, is expanding rapidly, creating an increasingly powerful ecosystem across digital payments, lending, and financial services. At the same time, MercadoLibre continues to gain market share across Latin America, positioning itself as one of the dominant digital platforms in the region. And with the stock currently trading close to its 52-week lows, I believe investors may be getting the opportunity to buy into this long-term growth story at a more attractive valuation. Of course, the company still faces competition and macroeconomic risks in emerging markets. But if MercadoLibre continues executing on its strategy, it could potentially become the Amazon of Latin America over the long run. If you found this video helpful, remember to leave a like for the YouTube algorithm and subscribe to the channel for more upcoming videos. And as always, remember to do your own due diligence before making any investment decisions. Thank you for watching, and happy investing.